We know that the water department is one of those agencies that if you don't pay that bill, just like our service providers on my left and right, they will terminate your service. Now, if you need more information about the water department does and any prices that may be increasing, you have the best of the best here today without the doctor in the house. And that is Liz Robinson. So I thank you so much for this portion.
Thanks, everybody. Our next panel is actually many of the same presenters. We're focusing in this panel on energy conservation, and the first presenter is Catherine Gajewski from the City of Philadelphia. Catherine is the city's sustainability director.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you everyone for having me here today. I'm Catherine Gajewski. I'm from the Mayor's Office of Sustainability, and I'm going to try to briefly highlight a few programs that I think are going to be of interest to this group that you're going to be hearing more and more about over the coming months. There's a lot to talk about. I'll give a little bit of background and overview up front here. We put out our sustainability plan, Greenworks Philadelphia, in the spring of 2009. So we are now into our second year of implementation. And what we did with Greenworks is we took a very comprehensive view of sustainability. So we have 15 core targets or goals that are clustered around these 5 E's, as I call them. So we have initiatives and goals around energy, the environment, issues related to equity, the economy, and then community education and engagement. So what I'm going to focus on briefly here is this first cluster around energy, which is where we've been putting a lot of time and resources and thought over the last year. And the targets that fall under our energy target are to lower city government energy consumption by 30% by the year 2015. So that's off of 2008 baseline. So we've set a pretty aggressive and tremendous goal for ourselves in city government that we're kind of wrangling with and figuring out how, at the scale you all are working at, how we do that with the 450 buildings that we own and manage as a city. We're then also looking to reduce citywide energy consumption by 10% by the year 2015. And I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. As part of that, we're looking to retrofit 15% of the housing stock in Philadelphia, and we're seeking to purchase or generate 20% of our energy from renewable and alternative sources. So this is a cluster of goals that we're trying to figure out how we can work towards, both as a city government and in partnership with our nonprofit, community partners, residents, the private sector, etc. So this is a heavy lift, and we think that this is a responsible lift and one that we're very committed to, even if it makes my life very difficult. So I'm going to focus here on how we're trying to kind of look at our citywide housing and building stock and try to understand what the barriers to energy efficiency have been and what some of the solutions are that we can put out as a city government in partnership again with many of our external partners. And to that point, we started to, about a year or two ago, we had the opportunity to receive some recovery dollars through the Department of Energy as part of the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program. It's not very often that you get handed $14 million to spend on energy efficiency related programs. And it really forced us to sit down and to have a lot of conversations to figure out what are the core barriers, and is there a way that we can use some chunk of this money to help to resolve those? And a key issue that Liz and Rob Graff and many others helped us to understand was that right now there's not access to capital, either for homeowners or for commercial and industrial business owners. You know, you can go get a construction loan, you can get a home improvement loan, but you can't go get an energy efficiency loan. And how, you know, kind of how weird is that that's such a hard process? Because energy efficiency is all about payback, right? So you make the investment, you do the retrofit, and you know that you're going to see a reduction in your energy bills, which is that new kind of stream of capital that can help you to pay back that loan. Very different from some of the other loans that we take out, where you just got to keep saving to pay it back from your income or whatever else. So we started to hear from people who were saying, you know, I want to do this, but I can't pay for it. And then the economy tanked, and that access to capital became an even larger issue that we wanted to figure out how we could resolve. So what we're doing is we're basically working with our partners at the Reinvestment Fund, PIDC, the Energy Coordinating Agency, AFC First Financial, and others. We started to put together some loan products that we could put out on the market that started to resolve this issue. So this is a program that we're going to be launching in the first week or two of November. So you're going to be, and sorry I don't have a lot of swag and materials and everything. We'll have that in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be inundating you with information about this program. But for now, I just want to give a brief overview. Our program is called Energy Works, and we're basing the program in the 5-county region. So Philadelphia, Bucks, Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties all fall under our Energy Works program. And that's partly, we went in and we applied for a competitive grant from the Department of Energy. We were one of 25 communities across the United States who were awarded this grant, and we got $25 million together with our regional partners and stakeholder groups. So we've come together with this Energy Works program, and another thing is we're looking to retrofit homes. We're also looking to retrofit our regional economy. And we know that the energy efficiency economy is really based on a regional scale. So the contractors, you know, they don't drive up to the city of Philadelphia boundary and say, oh, I can't go any further. They go into Bucks and Chester and Delaware. So we wanted to make our program really mirror what the economy of scale is looking like in our region. So just real quickly, Energy Works has 2 arms to it, commercial and industrial loans and residential loans. I'm going to give a quick overview. It's going to be hopefully not too overwhelming, but a little bit overwhelming, and we'll follow up with more information shortly. But just real quickly, you know, the objectives to reduce energy consumption to drive that GreenWorks goal of reducing energy use by 10%, stimulating the economy, stimulating the contractor base, creating and retaining jobs in our city and region, promoting energy efficiency and conservation, doing the education to talk to homeowners and building owners about what this is all about and what those savings are going to look like, and to leverage private investment in clean energy. Our whole hope, you know, we've got this recovery grant. Money unfortunately doesn't grow on trees. This money is going to go away as we spend it on the program. So we're hoping that the private banking and financial communities step up, learn from our program, and then kind of take it on once we've gotten it going. So there's 2 arms to it, and I think probably the part that you are all most interested in is the Energy Works program for homeowners. So this is our residential loan program. And it's administered by the Energy Coordinating Agency. They've been just a tremendous partner in helping us to conceive of this and implement this program, so my hat's off to Liz and her whole team. Basically what we're doing is we're giving pretty simple, straightforward energy efficiency loans to homeowners. And we're doing it at 2 levels. If you decide to do a single measure, so you kind of contract to do the work, we send an auditor out, you do an energy assessment of the home, you kind of look at all of those numbers and you see the energy conservation measures that are recommended, you decide what makes sense for you, working with that certified contractor. And if you decide to do one thing, you decide to, you know, maybe update the HVAC or do a window swap, do some installation. If you choose one measure, we're offering a low interest rate of 4.99%, which is very competitive, I think, to what you see right now out in the market, which can go up to 6 to 8%. If you decide, you know what, like, let's go for it, and you decide to do an all-house retrofit or a all-home, and to kind of look at all of the various pieces from windows to insulation to hot water heater to HVAC. If you could go that whole home route, you can get an interest rate as low as 0.99%. So these are very competitive term rates. This program is meant, though, for homeowners who can carry debt. We are putting out a responsible program, so when we assess the application, this is really meant for people who can carry and pay back debt. We don't want to be putting people in a situation that makes their overall financial picture more complicated. So this is meant for, again, homeowners who can take out a loan and pay that loan back, and do so at a very low interest rate over a period of time. And one portion that Liz was very focused on, which we appreciated a lot, was making sure that energy efficiency and energy efficiency contracting gets a really good name in Philadelphia in our region. And I think we've all had an experience where we've had someone come to our house to do work, they come to fix the toilet, great, 3 days later you have the same problem again. We didn't want the word out on the street to be that, energy efficiency, it doesn't work, the improvements don't add up to what they say they're going to be. So ECA is going to be doing, going back and checking the work to make sure that the projects and the loans that carry the Energy Works brand are good quality projects that deliver on what they seek to do. So that's a component here that I think is really important to emphasize, that that if you get an Energy Works loan, that the work that's done is going to be good quality work. So that's the gist of our program here. Just real quickly, for those who are interested, this program is really building off of the state's Keystone Help Loan Program, which is a partnership between the State Treasury and AFC First Financial. We liked a lot what they were doing at the statewide level, and those loans are still offered throughout the state. What we're doing here in the 5-county region is using that money we got from the Department of Energy to buy down the interest rates so that those loans become more attractive to people in our region. So this is a program that extends beyond our 5-county region, just with some different terms to it. And real quickly, so there's energy improvements costing between $1,000 to $15,000, and then a whole kind of the second tier, $5,000 to up to $35,000. So those are kind of the loan terms. So that's the residential program in a quick nutshell. Also, if anyone here is interested, there's also the commercial and industrial end to the program, which are larger loans from about $100,000 to $1 million or more. And by commercial, we mean industrial, municipal, educational facilities. So basically, commercial means big buildings. And this program is being administered by the Reinvestment Fund and PIDC. And again, this follows a very traditional construction loan program. We wanted the energy efficiency loan process to look very similar to every other loan process that these folks go through. And we are offering these loans at an average of about a 5% low interest loan rate. So again, a very competitive loan compared to some of the other construction loan rates that are out there. And this program is also open to commercial buildings in the 5-county region. So our hope is that we're able to give access to capital for building owners to make these energy improvements, and that along the way we're also starting to do that education that will help to transform this industry going forward. So our hope is that in 5 or 10 years, you're doing any project, getting any kind of loan, and that energy efficiency becomes a criteria of lending. So that we're starting to make that transformation where when people are investing, when they're building, when they're rehabbing, they're thinking about energy efficiency as a first pass. And we're starting, I think, to see some real shifts in that regard, but we still have a way to go. And so this is one piece of the puzzle that's starting to help to resolve some of the barriers that we're seeing, but certainly a lot of the other programs from folks up here really nicely complemented and help us to get to that bigger picture that I think we want to realize for Philadelphia. So with that, if there are any questions, I'll take those, and I'll ask Liz to follow up with more information once we have it up.
Yes. Landlord-owned property, do they qualify for the energy works?
No, they don't. So multifamily, it's single family, owner occupied.
So in the future, does the city plan to have a program for landlords?
Yeah, do it.
I'm sorry. The loan does not cover rental properties. The loan product from AFC First is available only for owner-occupied buildings, but it's possible that we could do the Energy Works program in rental properties if there is another way to finance the work. So that's a very important point, and one that we've not quite wrestled with completely. Mike Sanchak is here from AFC First. Mike, could you stand up? Mike represents AFC First Financial. This is the bank that has been producing, frankly, probably the best energy loan in the country for a number of years now. And they're based right outside of Philadelphia, well, not outside of Philadelphia, but up in Allentown, close by. So he's got a wealth of information about the loan in detail.
And temporarily, if anyone's looking for the details, we have a temporary website up that's energyworksgreaterphila.org that explains this and takes you to links to start the application process if you're interested, and also gives you the contact information for the folks who can answer all of your questions, from AFC First Financial to ECA and our other program partners. We're going to have a really nice looking website up shortly, so don't judge us, but this does have the information you need to get started. Thanks. Any other questions? Mm-hmm.
When is the program start?
It is technically up and running now in the soft launch phase. We're going to do the formal launch in that first week of November, and then we'll be kind of off to the game. Mm-hmm. That's a great question. I'm going to let Liz give the answer to that one.
Perfect segue. I was just going to deal with that. In your orange booklet, in this little booklet, there's a one-pager. There's an Energy Works brochure. This is the residential program brochure for the moment. The city just hired a public relations firm, so we'll redo this, but this is the temporary brochure. And then this little piece right behind that is a one-pager. And if you'll notice, what we're trying to do here is combine the federal tax credits, which are still available this year until the end of the calendar year, through December 31st. $1,500 to any homeowner in America to improve the energy efficiency of your home. And the specifications that you have to meet on different items are on this sheet. But you really should consult the IRS, the website, it's probably the the EPA and DOE websites that are listed at the bottom of the page for all the detail. And then what we've done is line those up with the PICO rebates. Liz Finocchio is going to tell you more about those in a minute, but PICO rebates can be combined with the IRS tax credits. So for example, let's say you wanted to, I'm just going to pick insulation, my favorite topic. So you wanted to insulate your house. PICO will provide a rebate on insulation for electrically heated homes, and they will also, you can also go to the IRS to recover 30% of that cost, up to $1,500. So you can combine these things, and I would really encourage people to take advantage of the Energy Works program. Will bring together all of the rebates, all of the tax credits, and it has its own rebate for the energy analysis. So if you go to the gold star level, you start with a building analysis. This is a person who is certified, BPI certified, that's Building Performance Institute certified. Those building analysts understand building science. They've been highly trained. They are bringing a national certification into your home, and they will help you understand how your house works. And that audit, I'm still trying to wrap my tongue around the word analysis. I've been saying audit for 20 years, and I got to say something different. So you have to bear with me. So anyway, the energy analysis has a rebate of $300. So you pay roughly $400, and at the end of the process, ECA will cut you a check for $300 as a rebate. So this is bringing together the lowest interest rate that has ever been offered on anything that I can remember, 0.99. I think GM might do better than that, but that's about it. It's bringing together a really incredible package of resources to help people overcome the barriers to energy efficiency. And we'll take more questions at the end of the session, but I'd like to ask Liz Finocchio back up to talk about PICO's rebates.
Thanks, Liz. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of PA Act 129, which Desiree had actually talked about a little earlier, and then the programs that we've actually put together to help us meet the goals of this plan. So back in October 2008, Governor Rendell had passed the energy bill for Pennsylvania, which had some requirements for EDCs, or electric distribution companies, that have over 100,000 customers, are all required to meet these targets. From energy efficiency, which is consumption, we need to meet 1% savings by May 31st of next year, which comes to about 394 million kilowatt hours taken off the grid. In addition, 3% by May 31st, 2013, which is actually 1.2 billion kilowatt hours that we need to take off the grid. In terms of demand reduction, we need to reduce the peak load, which is the 100 highest hours of usage, by 4.5% by May 31st, 2013. That's 355 megawatt hours. And by the 100 peak hours, they normally occur in the summer months. So we have to reduce that peak demand during those months. The minimum, some of the other requirements of the Act, the minimum of 10% of the consumption savings have to be obtained from federal, state, local governments, institutional, municipalities, school districts, nonprofits. So 10% of all of those savings must come from that segment of customers. And then there is some penalties if we don't meet these goals. We could be fined between $1 and $20 million, which we never like to do. So we are going to work very hard to help our customers reduce their consumption. Okay, so how are we going to do this? We introduced a suite of energy efficiency and demand reduction programs in order to meet these goals. We launched them in March 1st of this year, earlier this year, and I'm going to take you through both residential and commercial programs that we offer. So Smart Ideas, on the residential side, Smart Ideas for Your Home is how we launched the programs. We have a website. It really is the portal and the platform for all of our programs. In addition to the programs and rebates, we have tips and guides. We offer some information on, there's low-income energy efficiency, which is the LIRE. Part of the PA Act 129 requires us also to get a certain percentage for low income. So part of that is, how we're doing that is we're actually going to do additional 20,000 households will receive LIRE services over the next 3 years. Val's helping us with that. So this is our website, so I encourage you to get to the website to see all of our programs and things that you can do. The thing we like to tell the residential customers is to start off with taking our Smart Home e-audit. It's an online audit. If you have a PICO account, you can go on here, put your PICO account number in, your zip code. It will actually pull in your usage data. You can fill out just a few questions on the type of home that you live in, and it gives you some great suggestions. It actually shows you where your dollars are going, whether it's the heating, based on the heating that you say you have. It really is the first step towards understanding. That's the first step, is understanding how your home uses energy. Is the first step in understanding how you can actually reduce your consumption. And again, the audits or the assessments are a great way to do that as well. But this is a quick, free audit that you can do just to get yourself, get your feet wet on exactly how is your home using energy. Our smart lighting discounts, we actually launched this program back in October of last year. We received expedited approval to get this program up and running. This is where we actually lower the cost of CFLs at retail stores between $1 and $2. So we discount these, we sell them in over more than 700 stores in the territory. Those discounts are provided by PICO. We do have, Home Depot has been our biggest sales leader. The 14-watt CFL is the best-selling SKU, but we've sold 3.9 million bulbs since October 2008. So nice job, everyone. You're all doing a great job on those CFLs. We did receive the Energy Star Award 2010 for our marketing of the program, and we've had a lot of success. So we continue to encourage customers to get out there and take advantage of those discounts. PICO Smart Appliance Recycling. Desiree, I want to talk to you about this one, because that refrigerator that you still have it, we want it, and we'll pay you for it. That's exactly what we want. So this is the program where we offer the free pickup of a older refrigerator or freezer. So the one that Desiree was talking about, using all that energy, that's what we want to try and take off the grid. So we'll take, a lot of people, when they get a new refrigerator, they put it to the other one to the basement because they're working. They don't, nobody wants to waste anything, but you're actually wasting energy by keeping those things alive. And for the most part, it's probably just a beer fridge for a lot of people. They put their beverages in there, So we'd like to take those off your hands. We'll give you $35 for it. We pick it up. We'll also take old working window air conditioners if we're coming out for the refrigerator or freezer. We won't pick the AC units up by just alone. But we'll give you $25 for those as well. Limited to. You can schedule it online or by calling us at our 888 number. You'll get your check in 4 to 6 weeks, and we share the recycle, so everything's recycled. 98% of the unit is actually recycled. We share a unit, we share a facility up in Hatfield, Pennsylvania with PP&L and First Energy. So it was a great opening of the facility back in March. We had a lot of fun, and it's really a neat process, and it's a great environmental benefit to this is that, you know, these old refrigerators and freezers are not getting in a landfill. So really encourage you, if you have one of these things, let us know. We'd love to come take it off your hands.
Just wait, do you capture the refrigerant out of these?
We do.
things too?
Absolutely. Yep. I think the only thing we can't recycle is the magnetic strip, the sealant strip. But everything else is, okay? Again, oh, I'm sorry, 95%, I think it's 98. Other components are recycled. So if you see one of these trucks going by, you know what it's all about. Okay? The Pico Smart AC Saver, this is actually one of our demand reduction programs. This is our effort to try and reduce that peak load during the summer. Basically what this allows a customer to do, if you have central air conditioning, and allow us to install what we call a DCU, a digital control unit, we will pay you $30 a month during the summer months. It will be a direct credit on your bill to allow us to cycle your unit during those peak hours. What will happen is the condenser cycles, but your fan still blows. But basically it cuts back the demand of energy, and then we're able to take credit for reducing the peak hours. But it's it's $120 credit for those 4 summer months. It's a pretty good deal. We've had pretty good response to this. We're up to about 20,000 units installed at this point. So we're getting some good participation on this program. Any questions on these?
Is it just one summer or continuously?
It's the 4 summer months.
But I mean, one summer and that's it, or just?
We'll only call curtailment events during the summer months, so you'll get your credits during the summer months. But it's each summer moving forward. Yeah.
If somebody's a line customer and happens to have central air, are they eligible for that as well?
Sure. As long as it's a central air conditioning, that qualifies. There's some units that may not, depending on the technology, but most of them are. So I would say, that's kind of a one-on-one or a one-off type of situation where there's some units that if they have a comfort control or they're digital, they may not be able to participate. But for the most part, most AC units are eligible. Okay. Smart Home rebates, and Dan is here. He's an expert, so if you have questions after this, he's going to be standing over there and he can give you all the information. This is our program where we offer rebates up to $400 on Energy Star qualified heating and cooling equipment. We also offer rebates up to $100 on appliances, Energy Star qualified appliances. The good news about these programs is they are retroactive, so customers that had made purchases back to July 1st of last year can still put submit the form of receipts and get the rebate. That's the good news on this. You didn't miss out if you purchased it right before March of this year. It also includes some discounts on Energy Star lighting fixtures and LED bulbs, and those are point of purchase discounts. There'll be tags in the retailers showing that Pico is offering the discount, and you'll see the price has been reduced based on that discount. So this is a great program. We've actually processed over 82,000 rebates since March, so customers are definitely taking advantage. We've probably, in the beginning, saw more on the appliance side, but the HVAC equipment has quickly caught up to that, and of course we get much more energy savings from the HVAC equipment, so we really encourage the HVAC equipment and the customers to take advantage of that. And the way we really get the word out there on the heating and cooling equipment is through contractors. So the contractors are really a critical channel for us in terms of encouraging and making sure customers are aware, because most customers are not going to just change out a system because they're going to get a rebate. Most people, what we've learned with this program, it is a life cycle change. People are only going to do this if it's failing, if the system is failing, especially in this economy. If they can fix it for cheaper, we would fix it. But we would encourage them to go with the higher efficiency. So we know that the contractors are a critical piece to making to increasing the sales of this equipment. So we've actually held 3 seminars in 2010, meeting with the contractors, inviting them in, going over the program, making sure they understand the requirements. We have training kits, which we've sent out to about 2,000 contractors that we know we work closely with the EAP, the Electrical Association of Pennsylvania. And we do quarterly contractor newsletters. We also participate in trade shows to make sure that we're getting the word out. So again, on the HVAC equipment, it's really critical that the contractors are familiar with this program so that they can encourage customers, if they're looking to replace their equipment, that they understand these rebates are available. And again, you can combine them with the tax credits, in addition to the loans that are, becoming available to really make that a more viable option for people to take the next step and go with the higher efficiency units.